Anthropology's nature and goals.
Anthropology's nature and goal. Anthropology is a branch of sociology that studies the origin of humans and their culture. It describes human behavior, human societies around the world. This study also researches about our biological evolution and how we relate to each other in our own culture or in other cultures. Anthropology is the study of what makes us human. They consider the past through archaeology to see how human groups lived hundreds or thousands of years ago and what was important to them. They consider what makes up our biological bodies and genetics, as well as our bones, diet, and health. The focus of anthropology is on understanding both our shared humanity and diversity, and engaging our diverse ways of being in the world. Anthropology is divided into three subfields: sociocultural, biological, and archaeology. Sociocultural anthropology is focusing on the topics that includes human ecology, gender relations, culture and ideology, demography and family systems, race, class movements, colonialism, neocolonialism and development, and culture politics. Biological anthropology is the study that shows the variety of aspects of human evolutionary biology. Some examine fossils and apply their observations to understanding human evolution. Others compare morphological, biochemical, genetic, and physiological adaptations of living humans to their environments. Archaeology is the scientific study of past cultures through analysis or physical remains. Essentially, physical remains are bones of early people as well as their manufactured tools, goods, artifacts, and the foundations of settlements. Archaeologists often work closely with historians and anthropologists. In summary, the nature of the anthropology is the systemic study of humanity, and its focus is to understand human diversity across the world and through time. And finally, anthropology's goals are to understand our evolutionary origin, assess the cultural development of mankind, explore the differences and similarities of our culture, our uniqueness as Homo sapiens, and understand human behavior and again, humans' way of life.
Sociology's nature and goals.
Why do we need to study sociology? Number one, to teach a student the concept, theories, and methods of the behavioral and social services. Number two, to introduce students to the basic social process of society, social institution, and patterns of social behavior. Number three, to train students to understand and to interpret objectively the role of social process, social institution, and social interaction in their lives. Number four, to enable students to cope effectively with the cultural and interpersonal process of constantly changing complex society. Sociology will enable you to gain a better understanding of the social forces that shape your own life so that you will be better poised to deal with them.
What is nature of sociology? Number 1. Sociology is an independent science. As an independent science, it has its own field of study. Number 2. Sociology is a social science and not a physical science. As a social science, it concentrates its attention on man, his social behavior, activities, and social life. In other words, it studies man as a social being. Number 3. Sociology is a pure science and not an applied science. Sociology is a pure science because it aims at acquisition of knowledge about human society and not the utilization of knowledge. Number 4. Sociology is an abstract science and not a concrete science. Sociology does not confine itself to the study of this society or that particular society. It simply means that sociology is an abstract science and not a concrete science. Number 5. Sociology is a categorical and not a normative discipline. It only means sociology as a discipline cannot deal with problems of good and evil, right and wrong. Number 6. Sociology is a generalizing and not a categorizing signs. Sociology does not study each and every event that takes place in society. It makes generalization on the basis of some selected events. 7. Sociology is a general science and not a special social science. Sociology does not investigate special kind of phenomena in relation to human life and activities, but it only studies human activities in a general way. 8. Sociology is both a rational and empirical science. Rationalism stresses reason and theories that result from logical inference. The empirist collects facts, the rationalist coordinates and arranges them.
Political science, nature and goals.
A great day, everyone. Now, let's talk about political science. But before we proceed to its nature and goals, I'd like to tell you about its little background. So, political science. I want you to look at its first word, which is political. Root word, politic. It came from the Greek word polis, which means city, and as translated in late Middle English, it is called as politics. Politics is about making agreements between people so that they can live together in groups such as tribes, cities, or countries. Now let's take a look at the second word, which is science. Science came from the Latin word, which is scire, or in English word, know, then translated into science as time goes by. Science is the knowledge about the natural world that is based on facts that were learned through experiments and observations. Now, let's talk about the nature of political science. The nature of political science is a social science concerned with theory and practice of politics and the description and analysis of political system and political behavior. It includes matter concerning the allocations and transfer of power in decision making, the roles and system of governance, including governments and international organizations, political behavior, and public policies. Political science is thus a study of the state in the past, present, and future of political organizations, political processes, and political functions of political institutions and political theories. Now let's talk about its goal. Its goal is to deepen human understanding of the forms and nature of political action and to develop theoretical tools for interpreting politically meaningful phenomena. So in conclusion, a social science concerned chiefly with the description and analysis of political and especially governmental institutions and processes with its own significant role and goals.
Political science. According to Aristotle, 5th century BCE, political science is study of examining the function of the state. It means that it affects the role of the state in contemporary society under the different kind of fields such as economics, sociology, behaviorism, and history. It takes into account of human person and the verse based on its political thinking related to law, government, politics across geography over time. In other words, it is a study of politics and power from international comparative and domestic judgment. It imposes understanding political objectives, manner, establishment, programs, and progression as well as group classes, government, diplomacy, law, strategy, and war. People in this field are often sought after to make prediction by collecting and studying relevant data. The hope is that political scientists can predict a crisis before it occurs and lay out the action needed to avoid one.
The goal of political science is to deepen human understanding of the forms and nature of political action and to develop theoretical tools for interpreting politically meaningful phenomena. The expression political concept refers to a set of concepts essential to any serious reflection on political life. These sets includes authority, democracy, equality, freedom, justice, power, and further concepts that represent fundamental political values and principles.